Hi everyone! Welcome to our lesson for today. This will be all about extracting square roots. So let's start our lesson. So first, let's define what is a square root. So if the number a is a square root of b, if a squared is equal to b. In algebraic form, positive negative square root of b is equal to a if and only if a squared is equal to b. So yan yung formal definition niya, and throughout our examples, you would learn more about the topic. So we have here our first example. As you can see in the table, we have n and n squared. So why do we have to know what the square of a number is? Because later on, we will use it in finding the square roots. So kapag naghahanap ka ng square of a number, so n times n would give you n squared, and for square root is the other way around. So the square root of n squared is n. So let's try the first one. So 1, and then what is the n squared of 1? So 1 times 1 is 1. Next one, 2. So we multiply 2 by itself. 2 times 2 is 4. And then 3, when multiplied by itself, is 3 times 3 is 9. So on the other hand, we have here 4. 4 is already the n squared. To find its square root, we can compare these two. So the square root, don't forget the square root symbol. The square root of 4 is 2. But take note, when looking for the square root, there is always two answers. So there are always two answers, which is the positive square root and the negative square root. So you may ask, Miss, pero bakit kapag squared, it's always positive? Because when you square negative 2, so negative 2 times negative 2, negative times negative will also give us an answer of positive 4. So kapag squared, laging positive. Kapag square root, dapat may positive and negative values. Unless stated by your teacher na use the positive value lang. Next one, 36. So what is the square root of 36? If you know the square root of 36 already, but just by seeing it, it would be 6. So you have positive, negative 6. But if you don't know, you can factor out 36. So 36 is 3 times 2 times 3 times 2. So you just have to find two numbers that are the same. So 3 and 3 are the same, and 2 and 2 are the same. But then, we only need two numbers. So this one, there are 4 numbers. Since they're the same, we can multiply the first two and the last two. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. So you have 6 and 6. And for the last one, 15. So what is the square root of 15? You need to find two numbers that when you multiply, it would give you an answer of 15. That is a perfect square. So if you think about it, the factors of 15 are 5 and 3. So 5 and 3 are both numbers that are different from each other. So they are not squared. So there is no number that is the same. So therefore, kapag ganyan yung naging sagot nyo, walang may parehas, katulad dito, may 6 at 6, ibig sabihin just copy the given. So you have positive, negative, square root, don't forget the square root sign, of 15. So that, when you find the n squared, you would get positive square root of 15 times positive square root of 15, makakancel yung square root sign, so your answer would be 15. So that is how you find the squared and the square root of numbers. So So now let's try more examples, but this time about equations. So for the first one, you have x squared plus 5 is equal to 5. So the first thing that you're going to do is transpose this or subtract 5 from both sides. So you have x squared plus 5 minus 5 is equal to 5 minus 5. So why did we subtract both sides? Para ma-cancel yung 5 dito sa katabi ng x squared. Kasi dapat yung nasa kaliwa x squared lang. So you have x squared is equal to 5 minus 5 is 0. And the square root of both, so square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 0 is 0. Therefore, the value of your x is equal to 0. So let's try a more challenging question. For our second example, we have x squared minus 25 is equal to 0. So same thing, x squared minus 25. Since this is negative, you would add a number. And then sa kabila, positive 25. So this would cancel out. You have x squared is equal to 25. Find the square root. So square root of x squared is x. And then square root of 25. So the factors of 25 are 5 and 5. Therefore, the value of your x is positive, negative 5. And for our last example, we have number 3, which is x minus 2 squared equal to 2. So you have x minus 2 squared is equal to 2. So wala namang katabi si x minus 2 na nasa labas. Therefore, to remove the squared symbol, you should write the square root symbol na agad. So the square root of x minus 2 is x minus 2. So why is it x minus 2? Kasi ang mangyayari dyan ay x minus 2, and then square root is equal to square root of 2. So, yung isa lang yung ilalabas nyo. So, you have x minus 2 is equal to square root of 2. Now, we need to leave x at the left side. So, we add 2, positive 2 on both sides. So, you have x minus 2 plus 2 is equal to square root of 2 plus 2. Therefore, our x is equal to positive, negative, square root of 2 plus 2. Or you can write it also as 2 plus minus square root of 2. And that would be all for our lesson for today. Thank you very much. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Once again, thank you very much and see you again soon.